In this video, we're going to reveal the 3 things jewelers won't tell you when diamond shopping, and also how to make sure you don't get tricked when buying your first diamond. My name is Elizabeth Smith. This is my sister, Corinne Smith, and our family has been in the jewelry and diamond business for 42 years. Corinne is also a graduate gemologist, and she's gonna help us walk through these 3 topics today. Now, these 3 things are key factors that impact the value and the beauty of your diamond, and jewelers don't readily share it when you're in store or shopping online.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't disclose this to you, and it's not mentioned on the diamond certificate, so you need to know ahead of time.
Definitely. So let's start with the first one, BGM.
BGM, so brownish, greenish, milky. So a lot of these, when they grade color for a stone, it's graded on the amount of nitrogen in a stone. So the nitrogen causes yellow, so it's graded on a yellow scale. They're not grading brownish, they're not grading greenish or milky. So a lot of times these stones can have a brown, green, or milky hue that is not disclosed. It's not on their certificate. The color grade doesn't grade it.
Right. And not green is like a cool green diamond. It's like kind of like this murky little bit, like, yeah, more of the
It's like
gray
a light
color.
hue, and you'll see it especially when your ring gets dirty. It will come out a lot more. You definitely want to see these stones in person, and it's going to take a trained eye to see them. So you want to trust the person who's sourcing them for you.
How can you tell if a diamond has BGM in it?
So when you have a loose stone, we're going to put it in a color grading tray, and you're going to see a brownish hue or a greenish hue, or it's going to be slightly milky, and it's going to lack a lot of luster and sparkle.
Right. It's kind of that, especially when you said when it gets dirty, it kind of looks milky or hazy. The stone's not as sparkly. And these stones should be sold at a significant discount. So you need to ask the jeweler or whoever you're working with if they have BGM, kind of why it might look that way, because they have less of a value for sure. Number 2, high fluorescence.
Yeah, so fluorescence is something you can only see under a UV light. This is on a GIA certificate, but a lot of diamond dealers are going to avoid it. It actually doesn't do anything to your stone. It doesn't change the durability, but it is sold for a lot less than if you buy a 1.5 carat with no fluorescence. It's going to be sold for a lot more than a 1.5 carat with fluorescence.
And all diamonds have a little bit of some fluorescence, right? And there's a scale, and lower on the scale, you can't really tell. But once you get into high fluorescence, again, it gets that milky color in it, and those diamonds should be significantly less when you're purchasing them. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I have a diamond that has high fluorescence, but you need to know about that instead of someone trying to trick you and sell you it for the same price as no fluorescence in a diamond.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be disclosed. It's a trace element that causes it way beneath the earth when the diamond is formed, so it's not a huge deal, but it needs to be disclosed because your diamond will be worth a lot less than you thought.
And that and BGM is why you can see some diamonds that say they have the same grade, the same carat weight, but they're so different in prices. It's these things that aren't being disclosed that's causing that difference. And the third thing you need to look out for, which is the most scary in my opinion, are fracture-filled diamonds.
Yep, so it's a treatment on diamonds, so they're gonna send a glass-like resin into that stone to fill in that fracture. That fracture is gonna turn clear. So it's gonna look less included, more of a clear stone.
So you could have a diamond that has like a full crack in it, and then they're filling it up and making it look perfect. Scary because it doesn't last.
It's not permanent. So it is really scary if you take it to a jeweler who doesn't know and they drop it in their ultrasonic, that glass resin's coming out and you have a big white fracture again.
Yep, any sort of heating to it, if it needs a repair, if it's getting professionally clean, that resin comes out and you're left with a cracked diamond that you paid way too much money for. Again, there's not a lot of value in those cracked diamonds.
A lot of times for treatments like this, they'll disclose them as clarity enhanced, but they won't actually tell you exactly what they did to your diamond. You want to make sure you know all the details.
So how to make sure you are not falling for these 3 tricks when buying a diamond. I think the biggest thing is to do your research and do not impulse buy.
Definitely make sure that stone is GIA certified. If you're in the area, you can give us that GIA number and we can look up that stone for you and make sure you aren't getting abused by another jeweler. Also, if you're buying it in person, come in, look at that stone, put that stone in a white tray, make sure it doesn't have a brownie hue. And then definitely online, which is probably the scariest way to buy. That's where they're tricking you and you want to do a lot of research before you online buy.
You've got the right questions to ask now. Find a jeweler or a source that has great reviews and a great reputation. If you're in Arizona or Colorado, we'd love to work with you. Check out our Google and Yelp reviews. I think they speak for themselves.